So I'm Zoya Heidari. I'm a professor at the Hildebrand Department of Petroleum and Geosystems Engineering. And I'm leading a team working on multi-scale rock physics. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what we do in my research group. And I hope I can answer the questions that you have today. So I have had the pleasure of working with very many stellar students during my academic career, and let me tell you a little bit about my academic career. So I'm a Longhorn, which means that I got my PhD from the University of Texas at Austin, from the same department, Petroleum and Geosystems Engineering, a long time ago. And then after receiving my PhD, I decided to pursue an academic career. So I joined Texas A&M University as an assistant professor at that time. And 4 years later, I decided to come back to UT Austin. So UT Austin gave me an offer and I came back here as a faculty member. And since then, I have been a faculty at the Hildebrand Department of Petroleum and Geosystems Engineering Department. And I have had the pleasure of working with many great students and researchers at UT Austin. So, and I always have actually open positions in my research group, and I look forward to working with new Longhorns who decide to join UT Austin. So let me tell you a little bit about my research at the University of Texas at Austin. My main field of expertise is formation evaluation, rock physics, and petrophysics. And let me tell you a little bit about what it means. So in my research group, we develop new techniques to characterize subsurface rocks, to understand the quality of them, the type of fluids we have, and how easy those fluids move through porous media in the subsurface. How do we do that? Well, we develop new techniques. Either actually we take samples from the subsurface, bring them to the lab, analyze those samples, or we send tools to the subsurface and we analyze the measurements we collect from those tools, or we collect measurements while we takes measurements from the surface and analyze those measurements to figure out how the rocks look like. For what applications? So we cover a wide range of applications. It can be for hydrocarbon production, or it can be for characterization of subsurface aquifers to produce the drinking water, or it can be actually for any sort of storage related problem, because we can store gases, including CO2 and hydrogen in the subsurface, or other type of storage in the subsurface. For all of these, we need to understand how the rocks look like, and this is what we do in my research group. So a little bit more about my research group. So we work with multi-scale and multi-physics formation data that we collect either on the subsurface or on the surface, or on the samples we take from the subsurface or from the surface from the rocks in the lab. So we develop rock physics models and experimental methods for enhanced formation evaluation. We already talked about what formation evaluation is. Some unique characteristics of the techniques we develop in my team is we quantitatively take into account geochemistry and multi-scale quantitative rock fabric into evaluation of the data that we collect to understand the rocks. And the outcome would be enhanced petrophysical evaluation, compositional, interfacial, mechanical, and geochemical evaluation of these rocks for the purpose of designing completions and storage decisions as well. We also actually work on lots of projects related to CCUS, hydrogen storage, and also geothermal applications. So in my research group, we do believe that we need unconventional rock physics models and measurement techniques for evaluation of formations with complex rock physics. And this is what my students and researchers do in my team. And we also believe in the value of integration of multi-scale formation data in understanding subsurface rocks. Now, let me actually go through some of the highlights of the program I'm leading at UT Austin. So we integrate experimental and computational rock physics and petrophysics. Examples of the projects we have in this category is developing analytical and numerical models for rocks with complex rock physics. Examples related to our analytical and numerical modeling include the development of new techniques for quantifying solid fluid interfacial interactions, including wettability, for instance, or techniques that we have developed for real-time assessment of capillary pressure and pore throat size distribution. We also actually developed new experimental methods. A good examples of this category includes the projects, for instance, that we have active on developing new experimental techniques for assessment of dynamic petrophysical properties on irregular shape height samples that brings lots of value, information evaluation of rocks. And another category includes fundamental research in rock physics. Good examples in that category is the methods we develop for understanding how, for instance, CO2 and hydrogen reacts with different rock components in the presence of subsurface fluids. And how we can actually make the environment or select an environment that is beneficial for the purpose of the storage of these gases in the subsurface. We also integrate multi-scale formation data. We work both on computational research and experimental research. My students typically work on a combination of computational and experimental research, but I have some students who only work on computational related research and some students who only work on experimental research. But we believe in the value of integration of these two categories. Another point that I would like to mention in here is the multidisciplinary nature of the research that we have in my research group. So I have students from a variety of disciplines. I have students from physics, discipline, geology, students with expertise in data science, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, chemistry, geophysics background. And this is all because of the multidisciplinary research nature of the research we have in our research group. And we have lots of collaborations with people with different backgrounds. Examples of those is, for instance, understanding how molecular bonds actually changes in organic content, in organic rich mud rocks when it is in contact with water, right? And it is very important for production decisions and the strategies in unconventional reservoirs. Another example includes actually image analysis, for instance, to perform rock classification or to extract rock fabric from different sources of images, including borehole images or CT scan images or core photos. Another example would be actually the type of molecular scale modeling that we do to understand the role of or the impact of molecular structure of different components that we have in subsurface rocks. So these all require a multidisciplinary environment, and I encourage this kind of environment in my team. So one last point that I would like to mention about this program is the goal of everything that we do, either fundamental research that we work on or the applied research that we work on, computational or experimental, is to develop new techniques that can be used by the energy industry. Examples would be enhanced decisions for completion related petrophysics, or geophysical monitoring, aquifer characterization, carbon sequestration, and hydrogen storage informations with challenging rock physics. And the research that we do have had impacts on all of these categories. So I'm very proud, as I mentioned, of each and every one of the students and researchers that I have worked with. They have published several journal and conference papers. They have been recognized as distinguished presenters for the work that they have done. For instance, in the case of distinguished speakers or presenters of SPWLA, my team members, students have been recognized 12 times in the past as distinguished speakers of SPWLA, for instance. They have received numerous international technical awards from multiple societies, including SPE, SPWLA, EAGE, AIME. Something that I'm very proud of them for is that they are developing some research outcomes that are being used by our industry collaborators, and we all have been successfully collaborated within the energy industry during the past years. So I'm very proud of my team, and I hope we can have fabulous team players added to our team, and I can have the opportunity of working with some of you in the future. So we have a research website called Ultra Petrophysics website, and well, the link is here, so you're more than welcome to visit the website. We have some information about the vision of our research, the projects, some of the projects that we're working on, some previous publications, achievements of the team, and so if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. My information is listed over there as well, and is also listed on our department webpage. So I will be more than happy to talk with you about your research interests and the possibility of joining my team if you're interested. So thank you very much for attending this meeting today, and let me know if you have any questions.